shoes, coats, backpacks, mittens, scarves, purses, change from your pocket. Your entranceway can be a disaster very quickly, but I'm gonna share with you in this week's Hug Your Home Challenge how to clean it up using a landing zone. Stuff that you just naturally drop when you walk into your door. Everybody's landing zone is going to look different depending on their home and their family and the space and the money and all the different reasons, but I'm going to show you lots of different options and what we use in our home, hoping you can feel some inspiration. Just like always, I have a handy dandy printable so you can follow along, and I'm gonna put the link to that printable down below. First, you need to create a home for keys and wallets, change, things that you just empty out and drop when you walk in the door, purses, perhaps even backpacks. For our home, because I'm a ladybug and my husband is a cricket, I love this IKEA shoe organizer. It's the perfect spot to drop in all the things that are in our pockets that we want to make sure has a designated home, and it really contains them without it being clutter. If you're a visual organizer like a bee or a butterfly, you want to opt for hooks for your keys and purses, perhaps a shallow bowl on top of something in your entranceway where you can drop in your wallet or even your keys. It has to be visual. Lots of hooks. All the hooks so you know exactly where everything is and you can see it. Next, let's create a system for your shoes. A lot of places take off their shoes when they enter the door. Other places, they wear their shoes in the house. This is it's a touchy subject, so we're not going there. Whether you do or do not wear your shoes in the house, I don't care. There is no right or wrong, but here in Canada, we take our shoes off. So shoe clutter, this struggle is real. I've tried a million different things, but what works for my family, for my husband and I, because we are hidden, this shoe organizer is crazy pants awesome, and it doesn't take up a lot of floor space. But for my kids, they're visual. They need to be able to kick their shoes and just have it go into a spot. So I love these open cubbies for them. It's a really simple way that they can shove their shoes. It has spots for other things too, but it keeps them off the floor so I'm not tripping over them like I used to. There is nothing wrong with like a big basket at your front door for people to put their shoes in. There is no wrong place or wrong system for organizing shoes. They're always going to require maintenance. That's just it. Your entranceway, you're gonna have to be like reminding people, nagging people to put their shoes back in the cubby or in the closet or in the shelf or whatever it is. But if you're working with their natural tendencies, you'll have to nag them way less. Next, we're going to purge and donate unused coats, hats, mittens, scarves. That's one of the biggest problems in entranceways. We just have too much. We have so much, we can't possibly organize it all, and it ends up being a huge mess. So I want you, if you're not loving a coat or wearing it often, a jacket, shoes, mittens, scarves, it's time to let those go and give your space some breathing room so we can do what comes next, which is organize it. We used to have a really big closet in this space, but my kids are visual and they never use the closet. They threw all of their coats and shoes and everything all over the floor. So we opted to demo the closet and go with hooks. It isn't pretty. I don't love looking at it, that's for sure, but my kids are actually hanging up their coats, kicking their shoes into the cubbies, putting their hats and scarves away, and I opted to get these really inexpensive $60 cabinets to hide away extra shoes for the kids and a place like a little locker for their backpacks and school stuff. It's really, really working, and the best part was it was like under $200 to put together. Last but not least, it's time to create an in-out system. This is a place where you put things that you have to return to the store, or something perhaps you've just purchased but it doesn't necessarily have a home yet. It's sort of like an in-between spot. Maybe you've borrowed something or you have to return library books. Don't let this stuff sit on your counter. I have a huge bin on top of my cabinet where I keep my reusable shopping bags, but this is also my out bin. So if I have to return something, I stick it in here and I grab it every time I leave the house and stick it in the car. Sometimes I happen to be driving past a spot where I can return something, at least it's in the car, and when I come home I bring this back in with me. It's just like a habit now. Otherwise I completely forget to use my reusable shopping bag. So I got in the habit, all of the things that I need to bring with me in the car go in here, including things that need to be returned. You may not have a space for a big wall designated to coats and scarves and all the things that you need, but I want you to think outside the box and get a little creative. Perhaps you can raise the bar in your closet for adult coats up high and put hooks for little kids' coats downstairs, or you can hang hooks along in your entranceway so they can hang their backpack when they come home there. You definitely have to work with your space, get a little creative, search all the Pinterest posts for landing zones, and get organized today. Hey guys, thanks so much for those of you who have stayed to the end. I filmed a pilot last week, like a TV show pilot for HGTV. Can we get a collective, oh my freaking gosh? Yeah, it was nuts. Except that the title of the show is called The House Diet. And the phrase that I had to say was, your house isn't too small, it's too fat. And I cringed inside and I died inside for a lot of reasons. Number one, I'm a fat girl. And I don't know, it felt like really negative. It also felt ironic. Like, why would you have an overweight host to help houses lose weight? Obviously, everyone's gonna be distracted by the overweight host. And also, it felt like a little bit like that's a bad thing, like it's negative, that they're like fat shaming a fat house or something, you know what I mean? Like, you've got to put your house on a diet, it's disgusting, it's way too fat. And I'm just like, that feels wrong, but you got, whatever. I'm hoping that, I'm sure they're gonna change the name. I mean, that's just crazy pants, but I filmed it, they came here, we chose my neighbor's house, it was just like, it's so insane, you guys. I had basically 2 days to find a location and come up with a plan and buy all the stuff for it and think of how to reuse things they already had in their space, but it turned out really, really cute. They had an armoire that I painted white. They had 2 filing cabinets already in the space that I painted white and created a huge like office space in their spare bedroom slash gaming room slash office space, and I only had 12 hours to do it, and it was crazy, and I had like a shoestring budget, but it was so fun. So I'm gonna keep you guys posted. Who knows if it's something that's gonna happen and be on TV. Hopefully they change the name, maybe they go with a completely different host. The point is, it was a really cool experience, and I was nervous, and I honestly thought of chickening out. I thought of like calling the whole thing off, and I'm really glad that I didn't. I just went for it, and it was cool. So anyways, I will keep you guys posted, and let's come up with a cooler name. Can we all just collectively come up with a cooler name for a show about the different organizing styles and organizing someone's house and decluttering, and based on the 4 styles? I don't know, you guys are better at this than me. Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you next time.